Okay, it is the end of November, which means it is time to figure out our writer goals for 2025. So let's head into Notion and let's set some writerly goals for 2025 together. So I made this Notion template a little earlier today and I've already filled it out, but I still want to take you through what my plan is, and maybe you can let me know if you think it's a little too ambitious or if it just seems pretty normal. So for Q1, I want to finish draft 1 and work on some short stories. Quarter 2, I want to finish draft 2, write a new short story, and then send some short stories out to publications. In Q3, I want to finish draft 3, send out Project Hunger to beta readers, and start draft 4, and then finish draft 4 in Q3. And if you didn't notice, I am completely starting over with my project name, and I'm calling it Project Hunger instead of Project Sailor because I just want a completely new start. And I've got this daily overview page, which is gonna change obviously every day. And I have my Tuesday to Saturday schedule because that's when I work. And then Sunday and Monday is when I have my weekend. And then on this dashboard page, I just have the first quarter of when I want to get each chapter done by, just so I have a good idea of when I need to start moving on. So most of these chapters I'm thinking will be written in 2 days, but then there are some chapters that will be written over the course of 3 days, usually the ones that start on the weekend, because I know I'm just a bit slower on the weekend because there's other things I want to do. And I want to point out that at the end of Q1, I'm not going to finish chapter 28 right at the end of Q1. I'm giving myself 2 weeks of time. So I'm hoping with this extra time at the end, that will account for maybe any days that I skipped, any time that I could be sick or just burnt out. So I wanted to give myself room to breathe and to catch up. And that's what I also plan on doing for the remaining quarters of the year. Okay, if I go into the overview, this looks pretty similar for Q1 and Q2. Finish Act 1, finish part of Act 2 in January, finish Act 2 in February, revise a short story that I've already written, and then in March, finish Act 3 and then outline a second short story. In Q2, I want to finish draft 2 of Act 1 and then start draft 2 of Act 2. And these drafts, or the second draft specifically, that's going to be my developmental editing. So I do think it's going to take quite a bit of time to get through all of that. And then I want to write a short story that I outlined from Q1. And then in May, finish draft 2 of Act 2, submit some short stories to publications, and then finish draft 2 of Act 3. In Q3, things are a little bit different because I'm just doing a line and copy edit. So I'm hoping it takes me no more than a month. So I'll just do that in July, and then I can spend August sending my project out to beta readers and then receiving that feedback. And then in September, start actually applying that feedback. And then in Q4, spend the rest of the year actually finishing up the final draft, and hopefully that will be the final draft so I can start thinking more about marketing and that kind of thing for 2026. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is my plan for all of 2025. I think it's pretty simple, and it's really going to be about my daily schedule in terms of how much I'm getting done. But I think with my Q1 already put in my calendar, that's letting me know how many chapters I do need to focus on every single day or every week. And honestly, I think the biggest key to this success, or to this being successful, will be what I do in December. So I'm really hoping that I can have a solid outline that, sure, I could deviate from, but if I have a solid outline, I think I'm gonna have a solid start to 2025. And I'm just really excited to finish that outline and start January strong. I would love to know what your biggest goal for 2025 is, so leave it down in the comments below.